Kenya has begun the journey to make the country a aflatoxin-free nation after the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, in conjunction with partners and relevant bodies, finalized manufacturing Aflasafe. The country's Aflasafe manufacturing plant at Kalokattumani in Machakos County has been opened in a ceremony attended by the Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries Cabinet Secretary Mwangi Kiunjuri. According to CS Kiunjuri, the plant has a capacity of producing 120 tons of Aflasafe ready for distribution. Aflatoxin is prevalent Machakos, Kilifi, Kwale, Makueni and Tharaka Nithi counties, depriving poor farmers of their income. Thus, with the invention of the Aflasafe, they will no longer suffer such losses. When animals feed on contaminated maize, they can pass the aflatoxin through milk to the human food chain. Kiunjuri hinted that the government targets at increasing maize production from the current 14 million bags to 67 million bags by 2022.
Safe, have I mentioned it the right way? Not Aflasafe. It gives me great pleasure to be here today as we commission the Aflasafe manufacturing plant, which is hosted by a premier research institution, Carol, here in Katumani, Machakos County. I take pride in being part of this historic moment of commissioning this plant, but more importantly, in the celebration of the continued contribution of our scientists to agriculture. It is only through science that the desired transformation of agriculture shall be realized. The product manufactured in this facility has been trademarked as Aflasafe Kenya 01. It is a technology for aflatoxin management developed by Carol and the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture with the support of the US government through the United States Agency for International Development and United States Department of Agriculture, and with additional support from other partners that include the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. On behalf of the government of Kenya, I am indeed very grateful to all our partners for their support. Ladies and gentlemen, aflatoxins pose grave health risks to both humans and animals, even at very low concentrations. Unfortunately, aflatoxin is highly prevalent in our country, contaminating up to 65% of the country's maize and groundnut crops. In 2010, over 2.3 million bags of maize were condemned and destroyed because of high aflatoxin contamination levels, costing the government, if we calculate the average current price of maize, that is 2,500, it could have costed the country 5.7 billion. But assuming we go by the prices that will be there when the maize is being harvested of only 2,000, it costed the country 4.6 billion. Remember, it is costing that farmer because the maize was produced by that poor farmer in the village. And as you look at the hotspots where aflatoxin is prevalent, the counties of Kilifi, the counties of Kwale, the counties of Makueni, Machakos, Tharaka Nithi, you have poor farmers there. That means you are depriving them of their income. That if we could have done something, this intervention, Aflasafe, those farmers would not have lost 5.7 billion. Our scientists tells us that aflatoxins are well-known connogens Hii sasa ndio hii mtasoma peke yenu. Causing liver cancer, suppresses the immunity. Atinaitwa nini? Carcinogen. I have gotten it. Carcinogens. Our scientists tell us aflatoxins are well-known carcinogens, causing liver cancer, suppresses the immune system, and retards the growth and development of children. High levels of exposure can lead to instant death. Moreover, the poison also finds its way into animal products, such as milk and eggs, when the animals are fed on contaminated feeds. Lactating mothers can also pass it on to their infants through breastfeeding. The danger associated with aflatoxin cannot, therefore, be overemphasized. As we commission this facility today and embark on sensitizing farmers on the use of Aflasafe, we shall not only be safeguarding our food and nutrition security, but importantly too, our health and wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, in Kenya, maize is recognized as a key contributor to food security, serving the staple food needs of more than 90% of the Kenyan population, with a national production of 40 million bags and a consumption of 52 million bags. The country perpetually experiences a maize deficit. The government aims at increasing this production from the current 40 million bags to 67 million bags by 2022. However, to do this, we must overcome several challenges. Note of the deficit, already the 2.3 million, if you would have saved it, we would be talking of a constant harvest of 42 million. And therefore, it is so important when you deal with this problem. Among the challenges to the realization of this target is aflatoxin contamination, as it leads to huge post-harvest losses due to condemnation and destruction of maize, making it unavailable for food and feed. Further, apart from losses and costs incurred through condemnation of aflatoxin contaminated maize, there are health risks that are associated with consumption of such products or produce derived from it. It is therefore befitting that the theme for today's launch of the Aflasafe manufacturing plant is safe food for a healthy nation. We must therefore support the use of Aflasafe in our maize production systems to fight food and feed safety challenges. It is worth noting that the factory is now fully operational and currently has available 120 tons of Aflasafe ready for distribution. However, this is only a small fraction. Things are falling apart. However, this is only a small fraction of what is planned for the current season, as the ministry alone intends to take 70 tons for demonstration on the use of the technology. But on this one, we shall have a debate, Professor. As we agreed, we shall be having our own trials, and we are deciding on the monies that we have for subsidy. To subsidize our farmers, we must take 20% for aflatoxin. Ladies and gentlemen, our expectations are that with the increased awareness created through the intended massive sensitization the demand of Aflasafe will increase substantially. Happily, I'm informed that the factory production capacity can be increased on demand. I urge our production team to be ready to scale up production and work effectively with the private sector actors to establish a distribution network capable of meeting maize farmers' demand at readily accessible points of contact. Ladies and gentlemen, in this regard, and in order to make this plant worth the value of its investment, the maize-growing counties that are predisposed to aflatoxin challenges will have the responsibility to provide the necessary support to their farmers. As a ministry, we are making a special appeal to governors of such counties to embrace the Aflasafe technology. Only through this leadership shall we succeed in addressing the aflatoxin menace. Let us walk this journey together. I think the importance of this day cannot be overemphasized. I've listened carefully to other speakers. Personally, I'm so happy because in most cases, none of us want to do the foundation work because it is always very, very difficult for people to appreciate when you are at foundation level. People only want to be associated with success, but they do not associate themselves with the work, the difficult work that has been put into place. Today, this launch will be felt by generations to come. However, we are happy, those of us seated here today, because if this technology is adopted and Kenyans accept to use Aflasafe, the effect will be felt in the next 10, 20 years. Why? You can be able to isolate those areas of those people being affected by consuming maize with aflatoxin. You can even be able to isolate the cancer, the disease level. You can be able to come here at Machakos, and you can be able to say, by the time we are launching today, 30th of September, 10 years down the line, you'll be able to appreciate that the level of those who will be sick will have gone down. You'll be able to appreciate if you do a serious campaign as a country. We take 2, 3, 4 years campaign. In another 10, 15 years, this country will reap benefit. Because by the end of the day, if you look at the billions that you are using on cancer cases, if you look at the amounts of money we are spending in hospitals, locally and internationally, and you know, for us to tackle the 10 hotspots, we only require 2.5 billion per season. Again, for us to have Aflasafe for the whole country, we only require 7.5 billion. And we will have covered every farmer. If you go to in collaboration with the county government, and that is what we are going to do, next season, that is the long lanes, I'm going to partner with 5 counties on condition that it would be 50-50. The Ministry of Agriculture to provide 50%, counties to provide 50%, so that we can give Aflasafe free to our farmers. And what is more important for you as a governor or as a minister, if you do not take the interest and the health of your people first? What is more important for you, us as a government, if you do not take the interest and the health of our people first? Health is not about curative. It is about prevention. And when I was in school, we were being taught that prevention is better than cure. And even today, prevention remains better than cure. And applying aflatoxin means prevention. And prevention of a disease that now has become a monster in our country. Almost every home now has a patient suffering from cancer. And those are small interventions that we can do as a country. And therefore, I urge my brothers and sisters at the county level, please let us embrace this technology. Again, it is going to benefit the people around this area. Sorghum production, there will be also demand. And if you look at it again in the value chain, again, our people are benefiting. The cost, 1 kilogram of Aflasafe is only costing 135 Kenya shillings. And you need 10 kgs to apply in an acre. Meaning, you require 1,350 in an acre. Our farmers, subsistence farmers, are only doing 1 acre or 2 acres. This is an intervention that we should be able, all of us, to sit down and ask ourselves, why don't we debate on this? Already Parliament is discussing cancer bill. All of us, everywhere, you come out there in churches, everywhere, we are crying of this disease. And this is only what it can cost you, and in the next 10 years, you will feel the effect. I'm so proud that I have launched it. That I have a story to tell 10 years down the line. I'm happy to be associated with all of you today. And therefore, as a patriotic Kenyan, I will ensure that this campaign will not die here. Because Kenyans are very good at starting something and not seeing the end. Touch and go mentality. And therefore, I ensure that we shall be heard. That we shall be able to get to the media houses, we shall go to the counties, and we have agreed that this fire must live to be seen tomorrow and in the future. We are going to scale up this campaign. And even if you don't do a lot for this country, we shall be remembered that we did this intervention. And that is all it's about legacy. I know the president will be behind us. I know the deputy president will be behind us. I will proudly be able to share this with the president. Yeah, I have the opportunity. We shall be attending show together, and I'll ensure that he will give us a platform for us again to go and present to him. With those few remarks, are there many? I used to be a politician. With those few remarks, it is now my pleasure to declare the Aflasafe manufacturing plant officially opened.
Reporting for the Kenya Digital News, my name is John Matava.